If you are over 60 and your joints feel heavier, slower, or less reliable than they used to, there is something you deserve to know. What you are experiencing is not simply age, it is a biological gap between what your joints require and what your daily routine provides. Decades of subtle wear meet decades of nutritional decline, and the result is stiffness that feels permanent. But it is not permanent at all. Your joints are living structures. They rebuild, reshape, and renew themselves when given the right materials in the right form. Today, I will walk you through 5 foods that carry the precise components your joints wait for, often for years. Once these materials return to your diet consistently, your body can begin restoring comfort, flexibility, and movement far more deeply than you may believe possible. Why joint pain behaves like a silent structural collapse. Joint discomfort in older adults rarely begins with a dramatic injury. More often, it starts quietly. A small stiffness when getting out of the car, a slow ache when climbing stairs, a tight feeling after sitting for too long. These early signs are usually dismissed as harmless, but they are the first signals of a deeper process inside the joint itself. Your joint cushion, the smooth protective tissue that prevents bone from scraping bone, depends on a steady supply of flexible proteins, specific sugars, and supportive minerals. In youth, your cells receive these materials freely. Production is high, absorption is efficient, and the body constantly repairs tiny cracks before you ever feel them. But after 60, everything changes. Your cells work more slowly. Your ability to produce key proteins drops. And one of the biggest problems is that the modern diet does not replace what the body stops making. Over years, this creates a structural deficit. Imagine a house with minor roof damage that never gets patched. Rain enters, wood weakens, and within a decade, the frame begins to sag. Your joints experience a similar slow collapse. Without enough raw materials to rebuild, the cushion thins. When the surface becomes uneven, your body tries to protect you by sending inflammatory molecules. At first, this response is helpful, but when it continues for too long, the swelling and stiffness become constant. There is also a second layer to this story that many people never hear. Joint pain is not only mechanical wear and tear, it is also chemical. The fluid that bathes your joints can become more acidic, more crowded with waste products, and less rich in the nutrients that soothe and lubricate. The nerves that sense pressure and movement become more sensitive when they live in an inflamed environment. That is why the same amount of movement you tolerated easily at 40 can feel harsh and grinding at 70. The internal environment has changed, even if the outside movement looks the same. The mistake most people make is treating only the inflammation, not the deterioration beneath it. Anti-inflammatory pills reduce the fire but do nothing to rebuild the walls. Real joint recovery requires giving your cells the structural components they need to repair what has been lost. That is why food matters more than most people realize. Nutrients are not generic. Some act as fuel, some as signals, and some are literal building blocks. The following 5 foods offer the exact materials your cartilage-forming cells require to restore comfort and movement in a meaningful way. Bone broth, foundational fuel for rebuilding cushion. Bone broth has existed for centuries, often dismissed as a simple home remedy. But modern research has revealed why so many traditional cultures considered it essential for strength, recovery, and mobility. When bones, ligaments, and connective tissues are cooked slowly over long hours, the tough structural proteins inside them break down into a form your body can use immediately. The resulting liquid contains a combination of gelatin, amino acids, and supportive sugars that closely resemble the raw materials used to construct joint cartilage. What makes bone broth special is not just its nutrient content, but its compatibility. Your digestive system recognizes these components as familiar tools and delivers them directly to tissues in need of repair. Think of it as sending pre-shaped bricks to a construction site instead of unprocessed stone. Your body does not waste time converting them. The repair process begins sooner and proceeds more efficiently. For seniors who struggle with stiffness in the morning or discomfort after physical activity, drinking bone broth daily can make a noticeable difference. The gelatin helps restore the slippery quality of joint surfaces. The amino acids assist in creating fresh collagen networks, and the natural sugars act as a framework that holds the structure together. It is not a quick fix, but a steady rebuilding strategy. Over weeks and months, these nutrients accumulate in your system, giving your cartilage-forming cells the energy and blueprint needed to strengthen worn areas. To experience these benefits, consistency matters. One 8-ounce mug in the morning allows your body to absorb the nutrients during its natural repair window. Homemade broth from chicken or beef bones works beautifully, as long as it is simmered long enough to extract the collagen. Store-bought broths are useful too, but only if they are labeled bone broth, not standard soup stock. The goal is depth of nutrition, not flavor alone. Adding simple ingredients like carrots, celery, and a splash of apple cider vinegar during cooking can further improve the mineral release without making the recipe complicated. If you are sensitive to sodium or have kidney or heart issues, you can use low-sodium versions or dilute the broth with water and speak with your healthcare provider about the right portion size. Bone broth is flexible. You can sip it warm on its own, use it as a base for soups, or cook grains like rice or quinoa in it to quietly raise the joint supportive value of your meals. Bone broth forms the foundation of joint rebuilding. It delivers the base materials, but some people need a stronger, more targeted boost. That is where collagen peptides step in. Collagen peptides, accelerating the repair signal. Collagen peptides have become popular in recent years, but many people misunderstand what they actually do inside the body. While bone broth provides broad, supportive nutrition, collagen peptides supply concentrated fragments of the exact protein that makes up much of your joint cushion. These fragments are extremely small, allowing them to pass through the digestive system with minimal breakdown. Once they enter your bloodstream, your cells interpret them as a strong signal that rebuilding materials are available. This signaling effect is one of the most remarkable qualities of collagen peptides. Your body is designed to conserve energy and will not initiate large-scale repair unless it detects sufficient resources. When these small protein fragments circulate in the blood, they behave like a message to your cartilage cells, encouraging them to increase collagen production. This is why many seniors notice improvements in mobility weeks before the full structural repair has occurred. The body begins responding immediately to the presence of these peptide signals. Another benefit of collagen peptides is their precision. Unlike general protein sources, peptides directly support the rebuilding of joint tissues, tendons, and ligaments. They help refill the gaps created by years of wear, improving the density and strength of the cushion. For people with chronic stiffness or knees that feel unstable, this targeted rebuilding can be transformative. To use collagen peptides effectively, dosage is important. 10 to 20 grams per day creates the concentration needed to trigger the repair response. Taking them in the morning or before bed maximizes absorption, especially on an empty stomach. They dissolve easily in water, tea, or a simple shake, making them easy to incorporate into a routine. Many older adults enjoy stirring them into their morning coffee or evening herbal tea, as they are usually flavorless. It is also helpful to set your expectations. Collagen peptides are not medication. They do not numb pain immediately. Instead, they are part of a slow but powerful shift from breakdown toward repair. Most people notice subtle changes first, such as less creaking when standing, easier bending, or less stiffness after walking. Over 2 to 3 months of consistent use, these small gains can accumulate into a very real improvement in quality of life. If you are on multiple medications or have kidney issues, it is wise to review any new supplements with your doctor before starting. When paired with bone broth, collagen peptides create a powerful 1-2 strategy: foundational nutrition, followed by targeted stimulation. But to turn those proteins into strong, resilient joint tissue, your body still needs one critical component, the nutrient that activates the entire building process. Vitamin C, the activator that turns raw materials into structure. Most people associate vitamin C with immune support, but its role in joint health is far more significant. Vitamin C acts as a biochemical catalyst, enabling your cells to convert collagen building blocks into strong, stable fibers. Without enough of it, your body simply cannot produce high-quality collagen, no matter how much broth or peptides you consume. For this reason, vitamin C determines the difference between cartilage that slowly rebuilds and cartilage that continues to weaken. The process is simple but profound. When your body forms collagen, it arranges amino acids into strands that must be linked together in a specific pattern. Vitamin C drives the chemical steps that create those crosslinks. The stronger the crosslinks, the more resilient your joint cushion becomes. When vitamin C levels are too low, the fibers remain soft, unstable, and break down easily under pressure. One surprising fact is that many adults over 60 do not consume enough vitamin C for optimal collagen production. Cooking destroys a large percentage of this nutrient, and the most effective sources are not always the foods people expect. Red bell peppers, kiwi, strawberries, and broccoli often contain significantly more vitamin C per serving than citrus fruits. Incorporating these foods into daily meals can drastically improve the strength and durability of newly formed joint tissue. To support rebuilding, aim for a consistent intake throughout the day. Smaller amounts divided between meals work better than a single large dose. Raw fruits and vegetables offer the highest potency, especially when included in breakfast or midday snacks. A simple rule of thumb is to include at least one brightly colored fruit or vegetable at each meal. Over time, this habit not only supports your joints, but also benefits your blood vessels, skin, and immune system. Vitamin C does not rebuild cartilage by itself. Instead, it enables the body to convert raw materials into usable structure. It takes the bricks delivered by bone broth and collagen peptides and turns them into reinforced walls. Once you strengthen the structure, the next goal is to calm the internal irritation that accelerates its breakdown. That is where omega-3 rich fish becomes essential. Omega-3 rich fish, calming the internal environment. While structural rebuilding is crucial, no joint can fully recover if it exists in a constant state of irritation. Inflammation is the body's natural protective response, but when it becomes chronic, it causes more harm than good. For many older adults, the persistent swelling and morning stiffness they feel are not due to injury, but to a long-standing imbalance within the body's inflammatory pathways. Omega-3 rich fish help restore that balance. Cold water species like salmon, sardines, and mackerel contain fats that the body converts into calming molecules. These molecules settle the excess inflammation that surrounds worn joints, allowing repair cells to work without interference. Think of omega-3 fats as environmental engineers. They clear the debris, quiet the noise, and create the conditions for rebuilding to occur smoothly. One of the most powerful qualities of omega-3 seconds is their ability to influence cell behavior. Joint tissues are surrounded by receptors that respond to inflammatory signals. When omega-3 seconds are present in sufficient amounts, they shift these receptors toward resolution rather than escalation. This leads to less morning stiffness, improved range of motion, and a noticeable reduction in discomfort during daily activities. To receive these benefits, frequency matters. 3 servings of omega-3 rich fish per week, or a high-quality supplement providing 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of active EPA and DHA, supports joint recovery on a continuous basis. Taking these fats with meals enhances absorption and minimizes digestive discomfort. If you do not enjoy fish, plant-based sources such as ground flax seeds and walnuts provide a form of omega-3 that the body can partially convert, though the conversion is less efficient. In that case, it becomes even more important to discuss a supplement with your healthcare provider, especially if you take blood thinners or other important medications. While omega-3 seconds are powerful at calming the internal fire, they do not stabilize the structural environment by themselves. Your joints also rely on a unique category of vegetables that help cleanse, protect, and reinforce the tissue from the inside out. These vegetables provide a rare nutrient that aging joints need more than ever. Sulfur-rich vegetables, reinforcing and clearing the joint environment. Garlic, onions, leeks, and cruciferous vegetables like broccoli contain sulfur-based compounds that play an essential role in joint resilience. These compounds help the body create flexible, shock-absorbing proteins that give cartilage its ability to compress and rebound. Without adequate sulfur, new collagen fibers remain rigid and prone to damage, similar to concrete without enough sand to hold it together. But sulfur does more than support flexibility. It strengthens the body's detoxification pathways, which are heavily involved in joint health. Damaged cartilage releases waste molecules into the surrounding tissue. If these molecules accumulate, they trigger inflammation and slow the repair process. Sulfur-rich vegetables act as internal cleaners, helping the body flush out these irritants so that fresh nutrients can reach the cartilage more effectively. Certain sulfur compounds, especially those found in broccoli, have shown promise in slowing the enzymes responsible for degrading cartilage. When these enzymes are less active, the rate of cushion loss decreases, giving the body more time to rebuild. For seniors who feel their joints become more sensitive with age, this protective effect can be especially valuable. To take advantage of sulfur-rich vegetables, include them at multiple meals throughout the day. Garlic can be added to eggs in the morning, onions to soups or stir-fries at lunch, and broccoli or cabbage to dinner plates. For garlic, letting it rest for several minutes after chopping enhances the potency of its sulfur compounds. If raw vegetables are hard to digest, lightly steaming or sautéing them can make them gentler on the stomach while still preserving most of their benefit. You might imagine a simple day of joint-focused eating. In the morning, you sip a mug of bone broth with a small plate of scrambled eggs cooked with onion and a bit of garlic. At lunch, you enjoy a salad with chopped red pepper, broccoli, and grilled salmon. In the afternoon, you snack on kiwi or strawberries. At dinner, you have a vegetable stew made with bone broth, beans, and cabbage, followed by a small serving of yogurt and your collagen peptides. None of this feels extreme, yet together it creates a powerful flow of rebuilding materials through your system. With structural support, activation, inflammation control, and environmental cleansing in place, joint recovery becomes far more achievable. But one final principle remains. Many seniors unintentionally block their progress by consuming oils and sugars that undo the benefits of all these foods. Understanding this final piece is essential for long-term success. The hidden sabotage, oils and sugars, that slow regeneration. Even the most powerful joint-supporting foods cannot overcome a daily diet filled with inflammatory oils and excessive sugar. These ingredients create a biochemical environment that weakens collagen, stiffens tissues, and fuels ongoing irritation. When this environment becomes chronic, the body is forced into constant defense mode, leaving few resources for repair. Industrial seed oils such as soybean, corn, and cottonseed oil are particularly problematic. They contain unstable fats that break down easily under heat, producing compounds that irritate joint tissues. When these fats integrate into your cell membranes, they make the cells more reactive and less capable of managing inflammation. The result is a system that over-responds to small triggers, intensifying pain and stiffness. Sugar compounds the issue by accelerating the formation of advanced glycation end products. These molecules bind to collagen fibers, making them brittle and difficult to repair. Over time, the cartilage becomes less flexible and more prone to cracking, even if you consume all the right rebuilding nutrients. Many common foods, such as sweetened drinks, packaged snacks, and sugary breakfast items, quietly contribute to this process day after day. Fortunately, this sabotage is reversible. Replacing industrial oils with stable fats such as olive oil, avocado oil, or ghee reduces inflammatory load almost immediately. Limiting added sugars allows new collagen to form without interference. These two changes create a supportive environment where the 5 key foods can work effectively. Reading labels becomes a powerful habit. When you see long lists of oils and added sugars, you understand that those products are not neutral. They are either helping your joints or working against them. This mindset shift is crucial. Joint health is not only about what you include, but also what you remove. Clearing out harmful ingredients opens the door for regeneration to take place consistently. The more stable your internal environment becomes, the easier it is for your cartilage-forming cells to lay down new material. With this combination in place, you now have a complete framework for rebuilding your joints from the inside out. Putting it all together, your cartilage renewal blueprint. Reversing joint pain after 60 is not about chasing quick fixes or temporary relief. It is about understanding how your body rebuilds itself and providing the right materials at the right time. Each of the 5 foods discussed performs a unique function in this repair system, and together they form a powerful blueprint for long-term mobility. Bone broth supplies the foundational components your cells use to create new cushion. Collagen peptides deliver concentrated fragments that accelerate the repair signal. Vitamin C activates the entire process, turning raw materials into strong, cross-linked fibers capable of supporting your movements. Omega-3 rich fish calms the inflammatory pathways that interfere with healing, and sulfur-rich vegetables cleanse the environment, protect new tissue, and maintain the flexibility your joints depend on. When combined with the removal of harmful oils and sugars, these foods transform the internal landscape of your joints. Instead of constant breakdown, your body shifts into rebuilding mode. Many people do not realize how adaptable joint tissue remains even in later years. Cartilage does not regenerate quickly, but it does regenerate steadily when given the right tools. The key is consistency. Small choices, repeated daily, can produce remarkable changes over time. A cup of broth in the morning, a serving of salmon twice a week, fresh kiwi or bell peppers with lunch, garlic in your dinner vegetables, and a scoop of peptides before bed. None of these steps are difficult, but together they create a biological momentum that moves you toward comfort and stability. You might think of it as a 30-day experiment. For 1 month, you give your joints everything they have been missing and reduce the foods that harm them. Then you pay close attention to how you feel, getting out of bed, walking upstairs, or standing after a movie. Those small improvements are your proof that the process is working. Joint pain does not have to define your aging experience. You have the ability to influence how your body feels, how you move, and how much freedom you maintain in your daily life. With this blueprint, you are no longer managing decline. You are actively supporting renewal. If this message helped you understand your joints in a new way, take a moment now to subscribe and stay connected. Every week, I share simple, science-based strategies that help adults over 60 move with less pain, greater confidence, and more independence. Your joints can change, your comfort can improve, and your future can look very different from your current limitations. All it takes is the right knowledge applied with consistency. Comment below and tell me which of the 5 foods you plan to start with today. I read every message because your progress matters. And in the next video, I will show you 3 gentle movements that work hand in hand with these nutrients to support even deeper joint renewal. Do not wait for the pain to become unbearable. Start your rebuilding journey now.